Didn't see that. Right, so yesterday I was getting a haircut and I noticed it had a few greys. And I thought, oh, it's probably due to the fact I've been working so hard. Then I thought, yeah, it is. I did a bit of a KK video addressing a few things and telling a bit of a story about the product. So I might as well start at the start. About 2012 I got back from 5 years of working as an arborist overseas in Europe and Australia, and I was working with a young engineer at the time, and he said to me, why do you wear that thing underneath your climbing spikes? Like, couldn't you just bolt one on? And I said, yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great to bolt one on. Maybe we should do that. And so we did that. And then he said, oh, my brother's a carbon fibre engineer. How about we get together and try to make a climbing spike specific to single lining? Because I'd been single lining for about 4 years at that stage, probably since 2008. I thought, yeah, all right, we'll give it a crack. So I met up with this guy who's been my chief engineer. His name's Bruce. He's a legend. Hi, Bruce. You're a legend. Thank you for all you've done for me. So, yeah, we got together. We ended up making a prototype set of spurs. All up, I think it cost me about $2,500 just for the prototype set, which I still climb on today. They look a bit ratty now, but they're still going strong. I thought, oh yeah, $2,500, that's a bit crazy just for a set of spurs. And a few of my mates said, oh, why don't you make a few pairs? I'm sure you'll sell them. So I said to Bruce, all right, we'll look into it, make a few pairs and see how they go. And they sort of got back to me and said, well, manufacturing doesn't work like that. You know, you have to make 100 pairs or 75 or something like that to even make your money back. So I ummed and ahed about it, and I thought, oh, bugger it, I'll take the leap. And we jumped in headlong. I took out a loan and made the first 50. We got the end of that run, or nearing the end of that run. Took me about 6 months to move them all, and I kind of realised that I had to pump all the money that I had made from that run back into research and design to better the product, and most of it went into bettering the spike sender, because you know, and making the gaff, because at the start we were having troubles with the gaff, and now where are we at now? We've got these ones, which are pretty dope. The super lights and the super longs. Where was I? So I thought, oh, I better do another run. And so then I did another run of 50, and same thing happened again. We had a few problems, like teething problems with the stirrups and with the gaffs, and with the spike senders were coming along. I was investing a lot into the spike senders. But all the money that comes back in from selling product gets pumped straight back into the business to better it. I'm still not happy with it. I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to these products. Anyway, it kind of snowballed. Some retailers picked it up. Knotty Tree Worker in the UK, and Tree Tools in New Zealand, and Westbear in the States, and Tree Gear in Australia. They were, and a few other places here and there. They were all picking it up and running with the climbers. At the start I was making about 30%, 30 to 35% if I sold a set like the combo setup through the website. And since then, all my stockists of raw materials and contractors that I use in New Zealand to make these things have been putting their prices up slowly. It's been about 2.5 years since I started, and they've all been creeping their prices up, wanting me to take a bigger leap and not do 50 at a time. They say to me, to make any money, you're gonna have to do 500 at a time, and they're getting sick of doing small runs, so their prices go up, which means that gradually pushing me out of the market. I've got to take the hit, and now, like the last run that I did, I've got 40 pairs left of these, and the last run that I did cost quite a bit. Basically, if I sell them through the website, I'll make in between 15 and 20% per pair that I sell through the website, and there's no room for dealers or retailers or let alone distributors to pick them up and run with the product, because there's not enough margin in it, especially not now. So I've had to cut supply to retailers and to try and recoup a bit of cost back. And so now I'm kind of stuck. I'm back to square one and I've got to find myself a manufacturer, and I feel like I'm selling out, but to keep the product alive, I have to go overseas. Otherwise, there's no room for retailers to sell them. And if there's no room for retailers to sell them, like, it's such a big job for me to buy all the materials, contract all the people in, make them, make sure they're perfect, and then package them up into boxes and market them and get them on the courier. So I need those retailers in there, and to do that, I need production costs to go down by quite a bit. Cut a long story short, I'm looking for a manufacturer. I've got some contacts overseas, and I'm looking for a manufacturer to outsource the manufacturing to. It's the only thing I can do to keep the product alive. And there's a few changes that we've made to the product. It's come a long way. This is the 5th run that I've done. So the shin cups, they've got a thicker layer of carbon through there where they bolt on to the stirrup. We've riveted this side. We didn't used to put washers in here. Now we roll with spring washers in there. And we've also beefed up this part here that the spike sits on. What are the engineering changes are there? So this part here that connects to the shin cup, that's only 6mm thick now. So we went away from like making the pointy shaped one and just made it flat. Lots easier to manufacture, no change in weight, more strength, because we've got more surface area there on the shin cup. Can move around less. I stopped putting those scallops in here for your straps to sit in. That was weakening things considerably. These ones, I don't know if you can see, but these ones have got a matte finish on them. So I sand them down with wet and dry paper, and then put a bit of wax on them, like car wax, and it brings them up really nice. So, what I've found is if I clear coat them, like I have done in the past, the clear coating soon gets scratched off. Like, us tree climbers are pretty rough buggers, aren't we? So, but with the matte finish, it's pretty cool, because they can get all scratched up, and you can just give them a real light sand and then wax them again, and you can give them a birthday. What else did we do? So we had a bunch of chicken-legged climbers complaining about the top of the shin cup digging in to their shin. David Coker from the States had already run into that problem, and he makes custom shin cups for people with bucks and geckos and stuff like that. And he said you want to kick the shin cup forward slightly. Standing, when you actually look at a guy standing on a pole in a tree, it's hardly ever that their legs are actually straight, knees locked out. And as long as your knees are bent, you're actually like forward on your heel like that. And so what that kick forward does is just makes it more comfortable, makes the top dig into your knee less, or to the inside of your shin. Another thing we've been doing, I've got to find them. Let's talk about these ones. Is developing these titanium gaffs, the super lights. We had a little bit of trouble with the last run. They didn't quite pass the side loading test, so we've beefed up this area here. They're just as light, but just a slight design change. We've beefed up this area here so they can handle quite a bit of side load, when you're trying to wiggle your feet out. What else have we done? That's about it really. A little bit less countersinking on the inside here. Again, the same as taking away the scallops, just makes the stirrup a bit stronger. You've got a nice tight thin layer of carbon through here, so it really sticks into the heel of your boot. That's what I was going to say about these two. When that's kicked forward, it actually stops them coming off the heel of your boot. I've got about 40 pairs left, and of course it's free delivery to anywhere in the world. They'll turn up on your door in a box like this. Take about 10 days to get there. They come bagged like so. I've started putting these stickers on them. It's just to make sure that you get on the website and read the frequently asked question files. I've had a lot of people coming back to me and going, my shin cups were loose when you sent them. Yeah, they are, because you've got to adjust them and tighten them up to where you want them. You can't just pull them out of the packet and roll with them. And if you're not that savvy with tightening shin cups up, I don't really want you to be climbing on my gear anyway. Hate to say it, but these are for experienced climbers. If you're an inexperienced climber and you want to buy some, that's cool, but get in touch with me and ask me a few questions about how to set them up and how to climb on them. Basically, I'm always available by email. Email or Facebook's the best way to get in touch with me about anything. Yeah, cool. Climb high and cut through and buy some Kiwi climbers. Keep it going. Cheers, guys.